Curses you, Senate. We said there was a closed-door meeting. Right now, they curiously show open doors. We're under you, though, because we know once you do meet in half an hour, it's going to be behind closed doors, and people can't get back and forth, even though you're debating that prison swap, how it went down, why it went down, who was informed, who was it. South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says those doors ought to be open just like they are right now, but they won't be for long, Senator. What do you make of that?
Well, we'll have to push them open later on. We're going to have a closed-door meeting where we'll learn almost nothing, as we usually do. We'll learn more from Fox News than we learned from this meeting, but we're going to air this out in public in a responsible way. They're not going to get away with this. We're going to have public hearings about this prisoner deal. Do
you know, or I've heard from so many of your colleagues who were not informed about this, right. Even Dianne Feinstein saying that no one gave her a heads up. Republican leaders have been saying much the same thing. Now, who is the administration talking about when it says they were informed?
They didn't inform anybody until after the fact. We've been talking about this issue for a couple of years, and every time they came to the Congress, we said, no, that's not a good idea to let these 5 killers go for Bergdahl. Gates said no, Panetta said no, Clapper originally said no, Feinstein said no, all of us said no. This time around, they didn't ask us, they told us after the fact, and they've used the excuse that Bergdahl was about to die. They didn't have time to notify us. So I'm very curious to see if that withstands scrutiny.
If they were to do this again, the White House were to do this again, I think you were quoted as saying, sir, that that's an impeachable offense, not running this by Congress, doing this on your own.
Right.
Well, he's done it. He's done that. So is that impeachable now?
Well, the question was, what if the president just let everybody go tomorrow? We've got a lot of restrictions on transferring detainees to Yemen and other very dangerous places. I said if he just arbitrarily emptied the jail, there'd be Republicans calling for impeachment. It would be a constitutional crisis. I'm not saying the lack of notification is an impeachable offense. There's a legitimate argument by the commander-in-chief that this is a prisoner situation where he had to act. If he just unilaterally emptied the jail and let everybody go, you would have a constitutional crisis because we have restrictions on that. I would advise the president not to go down that road. I'm not saying what he did is an impeachable offense. I am saying it was a very bad deal for us. Americans are more likely to be kidnapped in the future because of this deal. And as surely as night follows day, these 5 are going to go back to the battlefield and create havoc all over the world, particularly in Afghanistan.
Let's say that he did just release the 5 most dangerous guys at Gitmo. That would, by definition, mean the ones who are remaining there are not as dangerous, and that it might compel the administration's argument, just shut down Gitmo because the worst of the worst is already gone. What do you think?
Well, the worst of the worst are still there. Anybody there now, Neil, is there because they're so bad. These 5 represent the military and political leadership of the Taliban. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is still there. Anybody left in Gitmo has been held under the law of war, and this absurd idea that the day we withdraw from Afghanistan is the end of hostilities and we have no legal authority to hold these people at Gitmo is just flat wrong. The hostilities we're engaged in is not against the Afghan government or people, it's against terrorist organization and those who provide material support. We can hold these guys as long as they're dangerous to us long after we leave Afghanistan, because the war is with Al-Qaeda, their affiliates, and people that help Al-Qaeda, not with the Afghan people.
Senator, thank you very much. Good luck at that meeting.